Hey there. Well, since you came into this video, I guess you want to hear how to outsmart a stalker. And I have a few tips because I think I've done this that. And, I'm not a pro. This is like experience based. And all the tips I'm giving you are for your protection. And I know that it's hard in these days to overcome when somebody is so obsessed over you and only you, and they single you out. It's really hard, and I think my growing Stalkers Anonymous page speaks volumes for how valid that point is, that there's way too many people stalking other people these days. And I'm going to show you how to keep your sanity, how not to become a stalker, and how to protect yourself when you're being stalked and harassed, because I realize that these days it is hard. And it's hard when you really want validation not to go stalking back. And a lot of these people are narcissistic. They're pricks. They have no conscience and no guile. There's nothing off bounds for a lot of them. They'll do anything. They will literally, when they become that enraged, especially a narcissist, when they get in their narcissistic rage, they will be so fueled by that emotion that all judgment and clarity in their mind is like, phew. It like takes a holiday. And, I know how it can feel to be stuck feeling like you're so helpless. And what do you do? And how do you get validation? How do you feel okay with walking away? And it's taken me a long time, and I still have my issues, but I think I did the right thing. And I'm taking my first step toward freeing myself from this prick that will do anything to be validated and paid attention to by me. And it mainly has to do with whoever they're obsessive about. The other people involved, they're just pawns, and they want to get to you. That's like their whole mindset and goal. They want to upset you or cause some emotion in you because you are what they're fixed on. You're like their little opium or drug of choice, and they have to get that fix. And what it does is it makes them desire more and more, so they have to get it every certain amount of time. If it goes a certain amount of time and you haven't heard from them, then brace yourself, because a storm's coming. And that's how I've researched a lot on narcissists. And at one point I was so consumed and obsessed with narcissism. I still get my points. I still get my moments where I go back and I'm like, I need to know more about what his mind is thinking, And I think in a way they draw you in like that too. And, it's hard to pull yourself away from that desire to know and understand them. And, in the end, I think it is pretty simple. They're obsessed. They want you. They want some emotion in you. Usually it's pain and fear and all the negative emotions. They'll give you that other amount just for every once in a while because they want you to stay in their little lure. But usually it's just they want to get some reaction from you. And sometimes it's easy for a person to have that mindset where they want that person in their life. But if it's a narcissist and they're really that that fixed on you, then that's not smart. And they will use other people in your life. They will take people from you that you thought really cared, and they'll twist everything around, make those people hate you. That's what they do. And I made this page, Stalkers Anonymous, when I first realized that I had a stalker. I kind of realized and caught on. And I couldn't speak out anywhere else, so I went to the internet, which ironically is where he uses to mess with me. And I have so far 1,999 people following it, and it has 1,956 likes. So it's been helping people to connect, and I will link my website below this video for you. And it's just a place that I think can pull us all together and help others to understand that they're not alone. And I don't always get to every message because, you know, it's my personal page, but I'm hopeful that in time other people will help each other and they'll start helping each other and giving tips. There has been a couple people that have actually reached out on there and said that they can help. So, you know, that's what I wanted for it. And I want it to grow and blossom, and for people to, like, you know, encourage one another as well. It can be really big emotional support, because I know that is really lacking in our whole entire world, and very little people in the legal system really believe in stalking. You know, it's just now catching on, and some people don't even accept it as stalking as a actual legal thing. So it's nice. I wanted a place where people could give tips and advice, and I will give my advice and tips and whatever I can do. But you know, I don't know laws in every state, so if other people are in other states, then they might know the laws over there better. So you know, I'll give whatever I can, and I probably will find a suicide hotline number and post it on there as well, the main one for like the whole world or US or whatever, in case people need to talk. Because I know that when you're that desperate, you will sometimes stoop to certain levels, and things like that can cross your mind, that I'd be better off dead than being harassed and messed with and obsessed over. And especially when you can't prove things, and the internet has made things so anonymous, and people are just so fake these days. And it just made me realize how big a problem this is, you know. And it's sad that even in our court system, they didn't understand much about the fact you can catfish in these days. You know, you can pretend to be somebody you're not. And, you know, a lot of times when you have that happen to you, it will pull you into their world. And sadly, yes, I had to fight fire with fire. But people, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not freeing. I hated when I would go on to that other site. That's not me. And I was like, you know what? This isn't me. I'm not this person. I'm not a fake. I like myself too much. I'm me too much. You know, I love sharing of me. When I was that other person, I had to be so basic because I didn't know this person. Shoot, that's not who I am. You know, you still put a little part of you in there, but I was like, I couldn't do that. I can't be like my stalker. I don't have his mentality. I don't have his ability to just pull it off. I just put too much of myself in there, and I get caught every time. And you know, I'm kind of happy I am that way, because that means I'm not a fake person.
Being real is the only way to be.
And I'm happy to be who I am. I love knowing that when somebody's talking to me, they're talking to me, not Sally Humming. You know, that's the character's name I created. And I was doing that so I could see into things that he was doing, because I knew he was doing that to me. And I realized that's stupid. Why be on their level, you know?
And to the same level, it's not necessary.
I am better than that, you know? I'm above it. And I don't have to be a fake. I can love who I am, and if he doesn't want me in his real life, then he doesn't need me, you know? He doesn't deserve me in his real life. And I realized this other kid that I think is him still, Ryan is his name. I unfriended him, or I blocked him today on Instagram. That's another thing you can do, people. You can take control back by blocking. Like, at one point I was like, I shouldn't block people. But then I said, but that person will always be in my thoughts. They'll always be there. And I'll always be tempted to look at something. And I was like, I know the person lets me see their stuff on purpose. And they still don't include me in. And if he doesn't want to include me, and he's that ashamed of me, then I'm better than him too. And he's the same person, and I know he is. And I think in a way that's another reason he doesn't want me on his stuff. But we both went to the same hospital, Forest View, and he does the same thing. He isolates me with other people that we both have in common. And then he'll be mean to me and block or unfriend and kick me out of his life, but let them stay. He does that with all of the different people he is. And for a long time, it was very painful, especially in the beginning. It was so extremely painful. And I think he got off on that because I cared. If he'd done that with other people, they might not have cared as much, but he knew I would care. So he started doing that. Maybe he thinks that I did that when I got married. I don't know. But for some reason, he gets that enjoyment when he does that to me. And it's very hurtful, So that's my tip for you as well. Don't stoop to their level. Don't make fake accounts, We have shows like Catfish nowadays and Stalked, Obsessed. Those are all TV series that I've watched. Obsession, Dark Obsessions. They're all very, very good. And they really hit home our whole social issues as a world. How people can develop such severe obsessions that they'll kill. And, that's one thing he hasn't done yet. Thank God. Knock on wood. That's not wood. That's, I know I'm making a light of it, but it's actually very serious. And if they escalate and they keep escalating, things like that can happen. The police has already been involved. The court system's already been involved with us. And I just don't know where he would go. I know he's made multiple accounts. I know he's had multiple cell phones. And you know how I know this? By another tip I'm going to give you that's not illegal. One of my favorite places to go. I have 2 different websites that I've done in the past to keep track of people. Because yes, you have to sometimes keep up with people. And I don't think that's illegal. I mean, actually, these websites aren't illegal, but I don't think it's not morally even wrong. I think it's right to know who you're dealing with, especially in this world. You have to do a check on them. You have to. I mean, especially if you're putting your heart into somebody and you don't even know them, especially if you met them online. Come on. We're in 2019, people. Everybody can know everything about everybody, literally. And this is my favorite website. You probably can't see. It's called Spokio.com. Go there. You can either type their name, type their email, phone number or address. It lets you look up anything based on those. This is my favorite like website that actually goes to your social media sites. Like, it's really cool. And you can learn things about people that you would have never have known about them. You pay a certain amount, but it's legit. And it was always what I would go to. And I would put in I'd put in emails and phone numbers, especially if you get a weird text from some random stranger and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, it's wrong number. No, it wasn't the wrong number. They probably are some weirdo psychopath, and then they'll start small talk with you. It's so weird. Like, I've had so many people do that to me, and I get random oddities wanting me to do links. That's another tip. Don't open links. Never freaking open links. They will put something so simple in your cell phone and you will not even know that they did that. Don't open links on text. Don't open links on emails. Just don't. No matter who it seems from. Even if it's somebody on YouTube saying you got a contest and you won, just have them like send something to you. Because I'm a big person that likes Toddy Westbrook, and I watch her a lot. And one time I was watching her videos and I put some really nice comment on her page because I do that sometimes. And all of a sudden, like, I had she messaged me within minutes and was like, I really appreciated your comment. I have a gift for you. And there was a link. Red flag right there. Like, especially because this account was recent and it didn't have very many followers. Like, it literally, I don't even think had followers. And she has a ton. So I was like, I actually emailed her directly and I never got a response. So I was like, oh, okay. I knew it. And within a certain amount of time, that whole account was gone. See? You got to be like one step ahead of these people. And once you realize what kind of things they do, they can no longer use those tactics. I've had multiple people on Twitter and Instagram. And I don't care if it's not even him. If it's some random person that just wants in your information, don't. Just don't. That's so dangerous. And they can get everything from your stuff. They can know everything about your cell phone and about where you go and what you do. So just don't open links. That's like the most important thing I think I can tell you tonight. Don't open links. Don't meet up with random people that just happen to text you. That's asking for trouble. And I'm about to say just stay away from Craigslist altogether. I don't know. I might give them another shot because I have used Craigslist in the past for a couple things, but not anything like too big. But yeah, you can be even stalked there. There's been some odd female that stalked me at one point. Yeah, she knew where my Google was just because my Craigslist account. Like, I don't know how they're linked or if she realized my email address and found that and got me into Google, but that was scary, and honestly, some of these people, I don't know if they're associated with him or not, but I don't want to take a chance.
I just rather avoid Craigslist altogether.
Yeah, that's more like when my husband says his crap list. Another website I like is called Point of Mail. And it's like $19.99 a month. And you can track your emails to that person, know when they opened it, and know for how long they actually opened it. And if there's any, like, attachments you send, downloads or whatever, you'll know if they opened it or not. That's a good way to know if somebody that you want to know if they are opening your emails, if they're opening them. Because I did that with the person that's been stalking me, and around the time of the court time, he was opening a lot of emails. So I was like, oh, okay. So I realized, and that's kind of how I realized he always read my emails, because that would show me. And I know he knew that I had a tracker because he's computer literate. I know he knows all of that information, but I don't think he really gave a crap. I really don't. I don't think he cared in the slightest that I was doing that. Another thing I think is, if you don't know who somebody is, then just treat them platonic. That's what I treat half of the people. I treat everybody nice. I treat everybody friendly. I don't really try to buddy up with anybody as much as I used to. Like, I used to way buddy up with people too quickly, and I would get so closely, intimately attached. And it ruined me, because when they weren't there, or they just ditched out, it would hurt me. And I would wonder what's going on. And then I started realizing every time that something happened, he would do that to me with a character that he made up. And he would start being so mean, and it would hurt me emotionally. It would really mess me up for a while. There's one character named Mark. He was a real piece of work when he was that person. It was... And another thing this does to a person is it makes you feel like it's an actual person when it's not. It's literally the same exact person, but you think in your mind that that's an extra person. It's one person, not multiples. So I try to think like that, and I realize that a lot of people on my stuff might just be him too. And I'll always remember that. I'll always have that in my head. And, maybe he's happy that I always think of him. But that's just the way it is. I can't do anything different. He's made me that way. And yeah, that's what you'll become. If you get so connected and so involved in the obsessed person's life, you will become like them. And I'm trying to stay pure and myself. And I keep my sanity by having my little channel, being happy in my own skin and who I am, not caring or giving a crap for what he does to me, and remembering that, in the end, he doesn't have me. So he can do all of the mean things in the freaking world he wants. He can do everything and say everything great to everybody else and hurt my feelings. But does he have the person he really wants? No. And that's maybe the main point. If he was truly happy in who he was alone, he wouldn't even be doing this. So I just have to remember that and say, I'm worthy of more than this. And even if he acts like he's okay with it, and then he's not, because I know inside he's not. I know he says he's all great, and then he's not. So a lot of times he just lies to me, and maybe he's always done that. That's how they are. And they will, if you let them, they will destroy your mind too, because they have nothing inside of them. And I won't let him do that to me. I love myself too much, and I have too much to give the world and too much to offer. And yeah, I unfriended Ryan on Instagram and blocked him. I blocked him. I didn't unfriend him. He wasn't friended. He just let me see his stuff again. But I blocked it again, and I also deleted my Sally Hemming account. So, I feel a lot more free, and I think that, it's not smart to have something be in your life that's just going to make you obsess. And if you do that and you become what they are, then it will consume you, and you'll forget who you are, and your identity will just be like what theirs are, 1,000,000 different avatars in the world. And I'm enough for myself. I don't have to look different. I like dressing up and dolling up with my own, what I have, my own features. I don't need to use someone else's pictures. You know, half the time I didn't even care. You know, it doesn't worry me because I like who I am. And I think that's the most important. I think people that do those fake things don't really love who they are. They don't like themselves. In fact, they might hate themselves. And they feel like somebody else would rather have somebody else than them. So they don't have confidence in who they are. And that's where the heart of becoming a fake avatar lies. It always is. I've watched so many of those Catfish episodes, and that's always the heart of it, is their identity is locked up in this character. They're either getting back in an ex, or you know, they think that somebody doesn't like their type, so they would rather have somebody else's picture. But it's still them, like they say, you know. But I mean, is it really? Because you're being fake when you're on it, you know. You're not really you. Yeah, whatever you say is, but some people even go as far as to speak a different way, or talk a different lingo because they think the other person would like this kind of a person better. If that person didn't like you to begin with, when they see you face to face, you think they're gonna be pissed because you're not who you said you were. So that's what you have to do first, I guess. To the stalkers, learn to love yourself. Don't prey on people that you wish you could be like. Don't prey on people who you feel like inferior to, because you do. If you really felt superior to them, you wouldn't have to conquer them. You wouldn't have to do all of that extra, you know, legwork. You just be yourself.
Yeah, like trying to root people's reputations.
And I'm being myself, so be real. Be who you are. And let that shine through. Because people don't care about all that fake crap. And I'm just going to be me, live me, do me, and be happy. And in the end, you know, the best tips I can give you is to just trust your instinct, trust your gut when you're dealing with somebody. If you know or you have feeling that is somebody weird, then just keep that in mind. You can still associate with them or talk to them. I sometimes still do, but it doesn't mean that I believe everything they say. It doesn't mean that I trust them. You know, a lot of times I think people that talk online are just talk. It's nice to have somebody to talk to, but it's not real, and it's not physical. And that's where you're going to be more lasting in your relationship anyways. So online is always, to me, going to be fake. It's just a fun place to enjoy myself and give you guys a little view of what I can come across as, you know. It's a place for me to invent myself and explore different areas of who I am. And to me, that's all that it should be in social media. You don't put your whole stakes there. You know, you live your life and plan out what you are going to be in the real world. And so that's what I'm doing more and more every day. So that's why sometimes I'm not on here, people. Is I now have more of a real life than I ever have. And I'm really happy living it now. So that's why sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I just go on an adventure, or, you know, I'm cleaning, or I'm doing other little things. So, yeah. I come on too, and I watch my videos or do whatever I do. But, you know, that's life. We all live it, and we all are other places at times, you know. But I don't let the computer consume me all the time. I don't do that anymore. I just think the real world's a lot more exciting too. And going on drives and stuff is fun for me and Isaac. It's our little escape. And he's not there. Yeah. But yeah, I think those are some good tips to give you. And
they keep you safe, right, honey?
Just watch what you do, watch what you say. Don't talk to people you don't feel comfortable talking to. You know, you can block. Be okay with that, and just let your conscience be your guide, people, because it's there for a reason. If you don't feel right about somebody, there's a reason. I always believe in the gut feeling, because I think that is true. We are so much more inside of us, and we can feel that something's not right, and God put that there for a reason. So listen to it. That's your best advice. And if you need anybody to talk to, or if you're being stalked or harassed, I will link my Stalkers Anonymous page. I will link an email that you can write to, and feel free to write me. And just always know that you're not alone, and that there is help out there. And don't stoop to suicide. I'll put a suicide number down there too.
Yeah.
Is, you know, you're worth more than they put you through. So never forget that. And never forget, I'm here for you. Well, I hope that you're staying lovely and safe, and always love yourself first.